Tonight, the Doug Flutie-led New Jersey Generals against the Orlando Renegades in Orlando Stadium down here in the warm state of Florida. Tonight's weather, as you see, a nice evening, 77 degrees, partly cloudy, very little chance for rain. Hi, everybody. Fred Manfro, along with former All-American and NFL running back Mike Adamle. Doug Flutie has played 8 in USFL quarters. He has looked erratic, and already the media has jumped on Doug, saying that he is a flop. I think the jury's still out, Mike.
Definitely still out. In fact, anybody who speculates about Doug's future based on just one game doesn't know much about football. Forget, if you will, his $7 million contract. Forget about his size. It would be tough for any quarterback, whether you're Joe Montana or Dan Marino, to digest an entire offensive game plan with just 1 month of training camp underneath his belt. I think before this season is over, Doug Flutie will be a big star in the USFL.
For 2 seasons, the Orlando Renegades played up north in Washington at the Washington Federal. They called it football. They didn't win often. Lots of new faces, a new owner, and a new coach, Lee Corso.
Well, Lee really isn't new to football. He's had 26 years of college coaching experience. He's been called everything from colorful to a vagabond in double knit slacks. But he's a good coach. He came down to Florida because he likes the challenge, and he certainly has a challenge here with the Orlando Renegades.
Well, Mike, I'm looking forward to working the USFL season with it this year.
I am too.
The Generals and the Renegades, upcoming. The Orlando Renegades, owned by Donald Disney. Disney bought the team from Earl Bernhardt, moved them down here, and did a clean sweep in the front office. Many of the players are gone. We see across the field Walt Michaels, the coach of the New Jersey Generals. The man has been catching quite a bit of heat about the way he has utilized Doug Flutie.
There's Lee Corso, of course. This is his pro debut. Last week, the Renegades were handled very handily, I might add, by the Tampa Bay Bandits, 35-7. He flat out said there was nothing good about that game. He said the only good thing about it was the fact that the team's bus didn't crash on the way home.
The Renegades will be kicking off to the Generals. So we'll see Doug Flutie on the very first series, barring fumble or other unfortunate happenstance for the New Jersey Generals. Jeff Brockhaus, the kicker. Brockhaus kicks the ball high, but has a tendency to be short in his kicks. Back deep for the New Jersey Generals. We have Marcus Hackett along with Donnell Daniel. Hackett last week averaged over 22 yards to kickoff return against the Birmingham Stallions. Well, the first kickoff of a regular season USFL game is up in the air, going on the left side, kicked up to the 20, up to the 32-yard line. Come the New Jersey Generals. A 20-yard return for Donnell Daniel, and Doug Flutie made his regular season debut last week against the Birmingham Stallions. It was rough, but he had this appraisal. So Flutie will direct the Generals offense. Going to throw on the very first series. Downfield, long, overthrown. Sam Bowers, the tight end, extended himself, but just couldn't come up with a pass. For the New Jersey Generals, on offense tonight, we have Danny Knight at one wide receiver, Clarence Collins at the other, Kerry Ulirenko at left tackle. At right tackle is Don Maggs, the left guard Vince Stroh, the right guard Wayne Harris, Kent Hull is the center, Flutie, of course, the quarterback, the other Heisman winner Walker, the running back. Handoff straight up, couple-of-yard gain, as Joe Ehrman, the veteran, makes the stop for the Renegades on Maurice Carthen, the fullback. Defensively, the Orlando Renegades will have Ehrman, and we're going to save that for now as the Generals come out quickly. You see the slot on the near side. Flutie rolling. He's going to go. He's got the first down. And And Doug Flutie, in the first preseason game that he played in, had the opportunity to run 3 times against the Orlando Renegades and picked up 51 yards.
Well, Fred, you talked about it at the top of the telecast that Walt Michaels, the general coach, was taking a little bit of heat about the Generals' conservative offense. You've seen they have not been conservative at all tonight. The first play from scrimmage, the pass attempt at the tight end Sam Bowers, and here this rollout. They don't want Doug to get hurt. There he picks up the first down and shows you how dangerous he can be.
We have the eye with Carthen and Walker stacked. In motion to the near side is Collins. Left side, and Walker, very little yardage, if anything. Tackle made by Scott Hutchinson.
Give credit also to number 30 strong safety Neil Colsey. He supported the run very fine that time. Of course, Colsey, the 9-year veteran from Ohio State, the first-round pick of the Los Angeles Raiders in 1977-75. Then they were the Oakland Raiders.
A yard lost by the Heisman winner, Herschel Walker. Again, the eye behind the Boston College great Flutie. Big pitch is a bootleg left, and there goes Flutie into Renegade territory and falls down protecting himself at the Renegade 49-yard line.
So immediately this gives the Renegades defense something to think about, something they didn't do last week, the Generals. Use the things that Flutie does so well and run and fake and ball handle. Watch this fake pitch here, attempted pitch to Carthen. He is wide open, and now the Renegades have their backs against the wall and determining how do you stop this team. I imagine that somewhere Donald Trump was very happy to see this offense look like that.
Well, Donald's here tonight. Slot to the right side. Again, the eye behind Flutie on the 3rd and 2. It's Herschel for the first down to the 43 of Orlando. Left linebacker Kevin Atkins, the second-year pro from Illinois, making the stop, but not before the Generals' first down.
Herschel, 1339 in total yardage on the ground last year. Last week against the Stallions, just 6 yards and 5 carries, so expect Herschel to break out of it. He's always had sort of a slow start. His last 2 seasons in the USFL, he hasn't broken the 100-yard mark until the 5th game.
Herschel on the wing of the left side. Flutie to throw on the first. Looking long. Bowers is open, but it's overthrown. No score in the ball game, really just underway here in Orlando. Last week was the baptism of fire for Doug Flutie. His thoughts on the game against the Stallions. Again, Knight to the left side. Coming near is Clarence Collins. Walker the lone setback. He gets the handoff. Herschel charging this time inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Mike, Herschel Walker last season did not run with the gusto and the zest of Herschel Walker of Georgia.
What people forget, I think, Fred, is that Herschel had a very bad shoulder problems. They kept popping out every time that he had played a game, had to put it back in. He had off-season shoulder surgery. Told me tonight before the game that it feels 100% ready to have a big, big season.
3rd down and a long 4 for the Generals. The shotgun for Flutie. Long count. Flutie has the ball batted, but caught by Walker. An excellent reception for the first down. Flutie may have hurt his wrist. Flutie, as he was throwing the ball, was hit. Walker alertly picked the ball, the dying quail on the fly.
Little delay pattern for Herschel Walker coming out of the backfield. Harold Randolph on the coverage and simply let Herschel get behind him. Great concentration by the former Heisman Trophy winner from Georgia.
First down for the Generals. 10:51 to play in the first quarter, no score. A bootleg again for Flutie. Looking to throw, he's bottled up, but he gets away from the intended tackler at the 24-yard line and out of bounds. Harold Randolph running him out.
Doug Flutie is playing with the kind of confidence that he displayed in the second half of last week's Birmingham game. Again, the bootleg action and a nifty move. He looked part running back there.
Well, the quick feet of Doug Flutie. Jack Bicknell, the coach at Boston College, knows an awful lot about those quick feet and strong arm. Second and 6 for the Generals at the 24 of Orlando. Walker to the 20-yard line.
Okay, gentlemen.
Scott Hutchinson making the tackle for the Orlando Renegades. The stadium seats 50,050, and they were expecting somewhere between 25 and possibly 30,000 for this regular season home opener. It's a beautiful day all day in Orlando, and those of us from the Northeast and the Midwest really appreciated the visit down here this week. Third down and 3. To the far side is Collins. Now Harmon sets up behind. Flutie gets the handoff. Flags all over the place. Harmon has the first down, still on his feet. Finally out of bounds at about the 11-yard line, but flags all over. Mike Guess running Clarence Harmon, the veteran from Mississippi State, out of bounds. No score in this football game. The Generals have taken the opening kickoff and now have been assessed the first penalty of the football game. They march it back 5 yards to about the 26.
Moving. Third down.
So it'll be third down for the Generals, and they have about 8 to go for that first down. They are in Orlando territory. Hackett wide to the far side. Coming to the near side is Clarence Collins. Carthen got the handoff, and Carthen goes nowhere. Maybe a yard for Maurice Carthen. He was stopped cold by Harold Randolph and Kelvin Atkins, the linebacking duo for the Orlando Renegades. They smelled that one coming.
Well, a week ago, Orlando's defense gave up 239 yards to Tampa Bay, 143 alone by Gary Anderson. So stopping the run was the paramount idea in their defensive coordinator's mind this week.
Roger Ruzek will be trying the field goal from 42 yards out. It's high, it's long, but it is wide to the left side. So Roger Ruzek's first field goal attempt of 1985 is no good. And the Generals fail to capitalize on their first scoring opportunity of this Friday evening.
Roger Ruzek, 102 points last year for the Generals, 51 of 53 extra point attempts.
8:45 to play in the first quarter. No score here in Orlando. The home fans here in Orlando have the opportunity to see their Renegades for the first time on offense this evening. The Renegades directed by the veteran but yet inexperienced Jerry Golsteyn at quarterback. They have the eye in the backfield of Odom and Bledsoe. Receivers split right and left. Golsteyn to Bledsoe, a 1,000-yard rusher last year, and Bledsoe powers forward to the 28-yard line. Frank Mattias, the nose tackle for the Generals, making the stop. Mattias replacing the injured Tom Woodland. Woodland has a stretch fracture of the fibia, and he may play next week when the Generals open at home in New Jersey.
People forget that there are 3 1,000-yard running backs on this field in addition to Carthen and Herschel Walker. Bledsoe finished 8th in the league last year or 7th in the league with 1,080 yards.
Back split behind Golsteyn this time on the 2nd and 6. The first toss of the night for Golsteyn. Incomplete off the hands of Joey Walters, usually a sure-handed receiver.
That's a matchup we'll watch a lot tonight. Joey Walters versus the Generals' left corner, Kerry Justin. Last week, Jerry Golsteyn was sacked 8 times. Tonight, he has to get pass protection. Here, the protection very good. Goldstein passed just a little high and out to the outside.
I think we should make mention of the depleted defensive backfield for the New Jersey Generals.
Of course, Gary Barbaro may not even play this season, still recovering from off-season knee surgery. Jerry Holmes out with a minor leg fracture.
3rd and 6 for the Renegades from their own 29. Golsteyn wants to throw. Incomplete. through the extended arms of Ricky Simmons downfield, and it'll be a punting situation, meaning Greg Cater will come in to do the kicking for Lee Corso's Renegades. Kenny Johnson was back defending on Simmons. However, Simmons was open. Had the pass been on the money. Back deep is Donnell Daniel. Cater hit the ball for a 45-yard average in the opener for the Renegades against Tampa Bay. Nice spiral. Daniel retreats. Eludes one tackle and then is finally nailed at the 26-yard line of the Generals. No score here in the ball game in Orlando. And Renegades still looking for the first points of the night. 7:16 to play in the first quarter. Flutie to throw. He has Bowers. Bowers with a big gain into Renegade territory and finally tumbled down at the 40-yard line by Mike Guess, and that's the big play, Flutie.
That play has been open all night long. Flutie just missed connections the first two times he was looking for Sam Bowers. Bowers, a fine tight end, 6'5", watch it again. Flutie, straight drop back this time and drops behind both linebackers. And again, Flutie runs the hurry-up offense. 32 yards on that gain, a first down. Walker bumps off two tacklers inside the 35 of Orlando to the 34. Jeff Gabrielson finally wrapped up Herschel Walker at the 34 of Orlando. Last year, I thought the Generals had probably the USFL's most predictable offense. There's nothing predictable about what they're doing tonight so far, Fred.
Well, Brian Sipe did not have the arm that Doug Flutie had. Again, Carthen and Walker in the backfield with Flutie. You hear Doug there. Maurice Carthen, who broke one for 55 yards and a touchdown last week, is stymied this time after a gain of a couple. It was Ed McElhaney making the stop for the Renegades. McElhaney from the University of Massachusetts. Here's a question. What other famous athlete came out of the University of Massachusetts, Mike?
Julius Erving in basketball.
Yeah, got it.
Greg Landry in football.
You're on your toes, Adam Lee.
Talked about that ACC matchup. Talk about little guys. Doug Flutie being small. How about Wake Forest's Tyrone Vogues, 5'2". Spud Webb, 5'7" from NC State.
Spud Webb is great for Jimmy Valvano down there. 3rd and 2 for New Jersey from the 32 of Orlando. Carthen powers for that first down. There's a guy, Maurice Carthen, gets very little ink, gets paid about $50,000 this year.
And a lot of people, Fred, believe that Carthen will not be long for the Generals. Apparently the New York Giants, as you look at Orlando's defense here, watch Jeff Gabrielson, the middle linebacker. Good surge there by Kent Hull, the center who just signed a new contract with the Generals, but getting back to Carthen. Carthen being offered, rumored reports in the paper, $500,000 for the New York Giants. And I'll tell you, for that kind of dough, I'd leave the Generals too.
Would you leave the broadcast booth? That's another question.
If I could play.
1st and 10, Flutie to throw again. This time he has open field to the left. Flutie with a first down. He's going to go out of bounds at the 14-yard line of Orlando. Mike Guess running him out, but Doug Flutie had Broadway down the left side, and he took advantage of it.
This may have been an intended play. Watch, it could be a quarterback draw here. Watch Flutie again. This time straight drop back pass. They say that Flutie's not able to see. He took this on his own, and that's what makes him such a great quarterback, I think, is he plays his best when he can improvise. He's like the kid in the Sandlot. You know, you go left behind the 57 Chevy, the other guy go long by the garbage cans. I'll make it happen.
Knight wide to the far side left. To the near side right is Collins. The lone setback behind Flutie is Herschel Walker. Walker puts his shoulder down at the 11-yard line, but he is met by Elbert Gray, the corner, at the right side, and that was a mismatch. Gray, 177, Walker, 223 pounds, and
Herschel Walker out of the I formation. I think he runs a little bit better, gets a quicker start when he starts out of the three-point step. It costs him perhaps a half a step, but Herschel's got such great speed and acceleration, it may not matter.
Good pursuit that time by Orlando to help out the little guy, Elbert Gray, on the tackle. 2nd and 7 for New Jersey at the Renegade 12. Near side comes Carthen. Inside the 10 to the 8.5, Neil Cozy from Ohio State, a former Buckeye under Woody Hayes there. The veteran strong safety making the stop. Lupe Sanchez coming over also. The Generals had a scoring opportunity earlier in this first quarter, but Ruzek missed a field goal try. We have 4:13 to play in the quarter. No score in the ball game, but the Generals have it 3rd and 4 at the Orlando 9-yard line. Lofting to the end zone. Touchdown, New Jersey, complete to Clarence Collins. Collins beat Sanchez and got the 6.
Now, Lupe Sanchez, the left corner, number 21, is a pretty good darn corner. Good cover man from UCLA there. The little fade pattern throws it up to Collins. I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with Doug Flutie tonight.
Clarence Collins, first touchdown of the season for that receiver. He's the young man who caught the first professional pass in a regular season game thrown by Doug Flutie. Ruzek will try the extra point. It's true, and the New Jersey Generals have taken the lead. 3:54 to play in this first quarter. New Jersey 7, Orlando nothing. I'll tell you, Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire will have a pretty good ball game up in Portland. Steve Young of the Express. However, the Breakers minus Marcus Dupree. What a tough break for Dick Corey and company.
Well, Corey knows how to play without Marcus Dupree. He's got another 1,000-yard rusher, Buford Jordan.
Ruzek kicks it. A short kick on the run. Parrish takes it, and he brings it up over the 30-yard line. They mark it down at about the 31, tackled down there by John Joyce. So the Orlando Renegades and Jerry Golsteyn, who played his college football at Northern Illinois, and ironically, Lee Corso's previous job before this Orlando stop was coaching at Northern Illinois, but their paths did not cross. The back splitting behind Jerry Golsteyn. Pass incomplete, intended for Bob Niziolek. All over him there was Jim LeClaire, the veteran linebacker for the Generals. LeClaire, of course, played in the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year made numerous all USFL squads. We will be having the plays brought in from the Orlando sidelines by the tight ends. And you'll see a lot of shufflings of 89, 88, and 80 in this ball game. 2nd and 10 for Orlando from their own 30. Draw play, nowhere. Henry Odom on him like glue. John Joyce, the right inside linebacker for the Generals. Joyce played his college football at Colgate, and he replaced a veteran linebacker, Bob Horn, late last season, and has never relinquished the starting position for the Generals.
Good look at the scoring drive. 8 plays, 72 yards, time of possession, which is the key thing for the Generals tonight. 3:34 last week. Birmingham held it for 42 minutes. The Generals just 18. Flutie complained afterwards. He said, heck, it felt like I wasn't even on the field.
On the 3rd and 12, shotgun for Golsteyn. 4 receivers, 2 split on either side. Golsteyn, plenty of time, throws it incomplete off the hands of Bob Niziolek, the veteran tight end. Last week against Tampa, Niziolek made 7 receptions, and in fact this week he's tied for the reception leader in the USFL along with Willie Collier of Baltimore. Good toss by Golsteyn, classic case. It's in your hands, you got to look it in. Should have had that ball, and he's usually a sure-handed receiver. Greg Cater, a 4-year pro from Tennessee, Chattanooga, will kick for the 2nd time this evening. On the 4th down and 11. Daniel is deep. A beautiful towering spiral. Daniel, with his back to the ball, catches it, and then he slips and is stopped at the 16-yard line. You got a big smile on your face, Mike. I tell you, no score in the ball game. Check that. Generals 7, 7, Orlando nothing. While we were away, a flag was thrown and a holding call made against the New Jersey Generals, pushing it back inside the Generals' 10-yard line to the 8. And here's the punt again from Cater.
Cater, of course, a 5-year veteran in the National Football League with the Buffalo Bills, and if you can kick in that bad weather up there in Rich Stadium, you can kick anywhere. He must feel marvelously at home here in Orlando, Florida.
Well, Doug Flutie has had trouble in the first half in his previous 2 pro outings. Tonight, 3 for 5 for 52 yards. And that touchdown toss to Collins. Flutie inside his own 10 this time. Gives it to his bread and butter man, Walker. Walker glides it up over the 10 to the 11, and then, as you see, hammered back. Jeff Gabrielson in on the tackle of Herschel Walker.
Herschel tonight, 7 carries for 27 yards. His biggest game as a professional, incidentally, against the Washington Federals, now Orlando Renegades, although many of those players are no longer on this team. 194 yards back in '83.
Carthen, he stumbled forward to the 17-yard line. Ed McElhaney stopping him for the Renegades. 7-0. New Jersey leading the Orlando Renegades. 1:24 to play in the first quarter here in Orlando. Doug Flutie getting the opportunity to do a little of improvising tonight, Mike, and he has shown the fans the excitement that he created at Boston College, and now we're going to have the chains brought in for the measurement. First down.
The offensive coordinator, as you look at Lee Corso pacing the sidelines as well he might, down 7-zip. 1:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Has done a great job of mixing it up. There are really no secrets in professional football anymore. It's when you call the plays. Tonight, Flutie's thrown to the tight end, the wideout.
First and 10 for New Jersey from their own 18-yard line. They have a 7-0 advantage. Eye behind Flutie. Slot to the left side. Fake to Walker. Flutie to throw. Complete to Clarence Collins. Collins with a big gain. Run out of bounds at the 35-yard line of New Jersey after the first down by Lupe Sanchez.
That time, Flutie was in the face of a fairly heavy rush. Scott Hutchinson, number 66. Watch the poise this young man has setting up. Play action fake to Herschel Walker. Hey, baby, I've got time. I'll pump once, I'll pump twice, and wait till Collins comes open. And there he finds him for a good gain.
Clarence Collins from Illinois State, the second all-time leading receiver in the Missouri Valley Conference. One better by the name of Howard Twilley. First and 10 for New Jersey from the 35. Walker with a handoff and a gain of about 4. Ken Times, the right defensive tackle for Orlando, stopping Herschel. Times attended Southern University. So Herschel having a much better evening tonight than he did last Sunday afternoon in Birmingham when he carried the ball 5 times for a miserable 6 yards.
Still, the Renegades doing a pretty good job of stopping the run after getting hammered by Tampa Bay a week ago.
Gary Anderson ran over, under, around, and through.
143 and 4 TDs.
Flutie again to throw. Walker, the receiver, shy of the first down. Quickly there was Kelvin Atkins and Victor Jackson for Orlando. It's going to be shy of the first by about 2 yards.
80% of the time when Herschel Walker is in motion or is lined up in the slot or in the flank, they go to him. And right there, Doug does. Indication of just how strong that kid's arm is.
And there it is, the gun ending the first quarter of play here in Orlando and the first regular season USFL game to be played in Orlando Stadium. And the homestanding Renegades trailing this ball game to the Generals 7-0. Doug Flutie of the New Jersey Generals leading the Orlando Renegades 7-0. A 9-yard touchdown pass to Clarence Collins. And there are the stats. And as you can see, the score is only 7-0, but New Jersey dominating the football game so far.
Roger Ruzek missed the field goal. It would have been 10-zip.
Flutie and the Generals working 3rd and 2 from their own 43. Again, the eye stacked behind Doug Flutie. Walker. First down for New Jersey and more. Mike Guess, who had 9 solo tackles against Tampa Bay, corralling Herschel Walker along the far side. Kelvin Atkins also there. Coach Walt Michaels said before the ball game, when you have tools like Walker and Flutie and both in gear, it's awesome.
So far tonight, give us to Carthen.
And Carthen has it down to the Orlando 47-yard line.
What coaches like to do is get players who complement one another. And what a compliment Maurice Carthen is in the fullback spot. He's got great burst, that initial burst that every good running back needs.
On the second down, Flutie to throw. Walker with a nice reception for the first down at the 39-yard line. Herschel had a twist and turn and came up with the ball.
And Flutie made a nice adjustment there, too. He stepped outside the pocket just a little bit to find Herschel. He has now completed 6 passes in a row. A little bit different kind of string tonight than the one he had last week, 0 for 9.
7-0. New Jersey leading, just underway, second quarter. It'll be Collins going wide to the right side. To the near side is Danny Knight. A lone setback behind Flutie. Doug to throw. Incomplete, intended for Danny Knight. Knight getting his feet tangled up as they went stride for stride down the sideline.
Working against number 22 corner Elbert Gray. Elbert doing a nice job of staying with Danny Knight. Doug's pass just a little overthrown. And I don't think a flag should have been thrown there, Fred.
No.
Good judgment call.
It's interesting to watch when the Generals are hitting on all 8 cylinders, that they're up to the line of scrimmage very quickly when they get that play off in a rapid fashion. 2nd and 10 for New Jersey from the 39 of Orlando. Very little gain that time. Maurice Carthen, Harold Randolph wrapping him up around the belt. And the East Carolina alum pulled him down after that short gain.
Renegade fans finally have something to get excited about. What a difference the game makes for number 22. He looks poised, he looks confident, he does not look like a rookie. Now, a lot may have to do with the fact that they're playing against the Renegades tonight.
And not the Birmingham Stallions. Collins wide to the right side. Flutie will drop into the shotgun on the 3rd and 9. Incomplete. Beautiful defensive play. Clarence Collins calling for an interference against Freddie Nichols, but beautiful play by Nichols from SMU. Getting the high fives from his teammates.
Time Flutie, it's just really an indication of how strong his arm is. This ball's a bit underthrown, and I don't know that even if it had been on the money, this is a great coverage by Freddie Nichols at a bit of a completion.
Well, here's the much-traveled Rick Partridge for the Generals to punt, and he sails it, and it's covered at the 4-yard line by New Jersey's Donnell Daniel, and that worked out beautifully for the special teams and Partridge. 12:36 to play in the half. New Jersey 7, Orlando nothing. Fans trying to ignite the fire under their offense, which has been silent this evening. The Renegades don't start from very advantageous field position inside their own 5, and Jerry Golsteyn again calling the signals for Lee Corso's Renegades. Lone setback behind Golsteyn. that goal line, picks up a couple, tackled by Jim Byrne, the second-year pro from Wisconsin lacrosse. The Generals lead in the football game, 7-0. We have 12 minutes to play in the first half. This is the home opener, the first USFL regular season game ever played here in Orlando. Walters will split to the near side. Golsteyn crouching behind center Mark Fisher. The eye this time behind the quarterback. Going long, downfield. Pass is incomplete. Jackie Flowers had to spin around and go back for the underthrown pass. Ken Johnson was stride for stride, and the fact that it was underthrown could have worked to the advantage of the Renegades.
Now, Lee Corso obviously saw what happened last week to the Generals on pass defense. He's going to attack those corners. This time, Kenny Johnson does a pretty nice job covering Jackie Flowers, who's been bothered by a bad thumb. That ball just flat out underthrown.
So Jerry Golsteyn, 0 for the first half so far.
He's got a Doug Flutie type half going.
That's right. Walters, a former all-star in the CFL, splitting to the near side. Super split wide left. One back behind Golsteyn. That's Bledsoe. Golsteyn, quick pitch, incomplete. Beautiful defensive play that time to break up the pass by Kerry Justin.
General cornerbacks have a tendency to play off the wide receivers, but the sign of a good cornerback is how fast you recover and make up ground. That time, Kerry Justin does a great job of getting back to the ball and getting back to the receiver to break it up.
Greg Cater will be kicking out of his own end zone this time. Donnell Daniels standing at midfield awaiting the punt from Cater. Good snap.
Keep that foot in.
And the ball is inside the 50, but Daniel fumbles the ball, picks it up this time, up to the 49-yard line. So Donnell Daniel, who fumbled with about 2 minutes to go in the Birmingham game to thwart any kind of a rally by the Generals, fumbles the ball but gets it. New Jersey leads 7-0. The New Jersey Generals with the ball just inside the 50-yard line on their side. Doug Flutie, who's had the night expected out of him by many critics so far, gives off to Maurice Carthen. Carthen to the 45-yard line of Orlando. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Generals, 10 times the stop. 7-0 is the score. New Jersey leading the Orlando Renegades. The lone touchdown in the ball game, a 9-yard Flutie touchdown pass to wide receiver Clarence Collins. On the 2nd and 5, dumps it off over the middle. First down for New Jersey, and more. And out of bounds, Clarence Harmon, the veteran running back. Mike Guess running about, but Clarence Harmon, who played 6 seasons with the Washington Redskins, picking up the first down for the New Jersey Generals.
Two different options here. First, Danny Knight is clearing out the zone, working against Albert Gray, number 22. He's not the intended receiver, however. Could have gone instead. Watch the running back, Clarence Harmon. He'll fake, hold for a count, and watch him slip underneath the linebackers. Doug does a great job of reading it.
Ball at the 24 of Orlando. First down for New Jersey. Carthen outside. Carthen trying to get that speed up. Picked up some good yardage that time, but stopped before the first down by Mike Guess. Maurice, Mike looked like he had those legs driving and he wanted to go a little bit faster than he really could.
This man is a good, solid, hard-nosed running back. An asset to this team and complements Herschel Walker so well, and many times, in many cases, has overshadowed Herschel in terms of just sheer statistics.
2 yards to go on 2nd down from the 16 of Orlando for the New Jersey Generals. Walker has the first down easily and just drives forward to the 12-yard line 10 times again on the stop, the right tackle for Orlando.
First half reminiscent, Fred, of what happened to the Renegades a week ago. They just couldn't get anything going on offense, couldn't sustain any kind of drive. Their defense isn't that big, but they're respectable. But it's tough to be on that field that darn long. And
Lee Corso not happy with hands on hip, pacing up and down on the near sideline. On the first down, Flutie looks to throw to the end zone with the ball incomplete. Danny Knight trying to get free so he can get his hands on the football, but he was defended back there by Albert Gray.
Looking at the left side of the general line, that's Yuli Renko and Vince Strauss, 68 and 66 respectively, do a great job. Herschel Walker, don't tell me he's not a complete football player. They're picking up number 59, Harold Randolph.
Collins to the right side. Danny Knight near side left. Back split behind Flutie. Inside the 10 to maybe the 9-yard line for the Generals. They have to get down to the Orlando 2-yard line as Maurice Carthen powered forward, but got very little out of that run. Scott Hutchinson making the tackle for Orlando. 8:44 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 New Jersey leads. They have the ball at the 9.5-yard line, 3rd and 8. Knight and Collins overloading the right side. End in tight left. Wing on the right side. So we have 3 receivers to the right. Flutie rolling right. Looks to the end zone. Touchdown, New Jersey. The second touchdown reception of the evening for Clarence Collins, beating Albert Gray.
We're going to see 2 things happen here. One, Herschel Walker again delivers a devastating block as Doug Flutie rolls out to his white rush. Number 34, Herschel Walker out of the I formation. Good block there by number 76, Don Maggs. And then, bam, 94, Kevin Kellen goes down. Clarence Collins wide open.
13-0 now, New Jersey leading Orlando. Bruzek in. He attempts the point after. And it is good. So the New Jersey Generals, with 8:16 to go in the first half, leading the Orlando Renegades now 14-0. Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. It's Sunday Night Baseball, college baseball, New Orleans versus Miami. Miami is looking to make its 7th trip to the College World Series. Bruzek picks it high, sliding over to make it. The catch is Parrish. Parrish to the 20, and that's it. He's going to stop at the 21-yard line. Gang tackling going on by the New Jersey Generals. You know, Mike, against Birmingham, the Generals seem to lack a fire. Tonight, with the lead of 14-0, they have that spark, and they're gang tackling, pursuing, playing inspired football.
And I think a lot of that spark has been provided by Doug Flutie. He is playing a much more confident brand of football. You looked at the last Generals scoring drive, 7 plays, 50 yards. Again, they consume a lot of time in that clock, which is bad news for the Renegade defense, but they are playing inspired football. Key series here for Orlando.
Pitch, Bledsoe. The man who gained 1,000 yards for the Washington Federals last year gains about 2 as he brings it to the 24-yard line. Jim LeClaire, the stop for New Jersey.
Look at the Jerry Golsteyn's backup quarterback, number 10, Reggie Collier, a man with an abundance of physical talent. Played his college football at Southern Mississippi, where he became one of the only man in college football history to rush for 1,000 yards and pass for 1,000 yards. He's talented, but I don't think that Lee Corso is going to give him much of a chance tonight. We'll talk about that in a second.
2nd and 7 now for Orlando from their own 24. Golsteyn looking. Dumps it off, complete to Bledsoe, but Bledsoe is tackled immediately by John Joyce, who is trailing Bledsoe, and then as soon as the pass was complete, Joyce grabbed Bledsoe around the belt and tossed him down.
General's 34 alignment, Joyce is the right inside linebacker. He's reading Bledsoe all the way. Wherever Curtis goes, John Joyce goes.
John Joyce had quite a football game here 2 weeks ago in a preseason game.
I'll say.
2 fumble recoveries, 2 touchdowns, and he ran one like a halfback, 78 yards. yards.
Never again in his football career will he do that. Got something to tell his grandchildren.
Jerry Parrish in now to join Ricky Simmons and Joey Walters as wide receivers. Bledsoe also coming out to the far side right. Shotgun for Orlando on the 3rd and 6, their own 25. Golsteyn throws, almost intercepted by the Generals. Cutting across was Gregory Johnson, the free safety for New Jersey.
Good solid coverage by the Generals secondary this time. Carried Justin tight in the corner. Looking at Bobby Leopold, number 53, working there as well. They've got him covered up. Justin plays the ball that time and not the man, and that's a good sign of good solid defense.
Well, Justin and Johnson look like they each had a chance for that. As Cater punts, Daniel retreating back, makes the fair catch at the 22-yard line. 6 minutes and 1 second to play in the first half here in Orlando. The New Jersey Generals leading the Orlando Renegades 14-0. To play in the first half. Doug Flutie and Clarence Collins hooking up for 2 touchdown passes and catches. And that's the scoring. And at halftime, as you see, the man with the money, Donald Trump, will be talking to the man without money, Mike Adamley. Doug Flutie to throw, and he's had a good night through the air, but this time he retreats. Look at Flutie scramble. Look at the gain by Flutie. First down for Doug, out of bounds at the 37-yard line of New Jersey. Mike Guest running him out, but that was Doug Flutie, the classic Doug Flutie.
This is why he's so dangerous, why he causes so many problems for defenses. You have to contain this man. The Jersey General front line doing an excellent job of keeping the Renegades out of the backfield, but there he sets up the fake. McElhaney, number 79, never had a chance. Is really kind of fortunate to even be that close to Doug Flutie. 5 carries, 37 yards for the Heisman Trophy winner from Boston College. And we've got motion on the play, I think.
And there's a flag down. Walker with a football. The other Heisman Trophy winner in that New Jersey backfield. Herschel has the ball up over the 42 to the 43-yard line, but we do have flags on the play.
Number 33, Maurice Carthen, who was lined up in the wing that time, jumped too fast. We'll listen to the call shortly.
Now, Neil Colsey back in the football game despite the full hamstring that he had earlier. 14-0 New Jersey leading in this ball game. 5:27 to play in the first half. Going to be marched off against the New Jersey Generals to the 32-yard line of New Jersey. Illegal procedure against the Generals offense. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Flutie and company. A stoic Lee Corso. Collins to the near side. Wing on the near side as well. Walker outside left. And Walker is bottled up by Elbert Gray.
We're going to have to give that young man the red badge of courage. He is sticking his nose in there, a 50-pound difference. This time Herschel just makes a slight adjustment. He'll take it inside, then bounce it outside. He's got the angle on the linebacker, but number 22 there, Gray, fearlessly makes the tackle.
Getting him some help from Eddie Jackson. Gray has been in the USFL 2 seasons. At 83, he played with Michigan, last season with Oklahoma. Second and 9 for New Jersey from their own 38. Carthen comes back. Checkoff for Flutie. Cuts right side. Carthen in front of Walker. Throws the block.
Got room.
Walker with a first down inside Orlando territory. The value of Maurice Carthen shown there, and the running instinct of Herschel Walker followed.
We told you about his shoulder miseries a year ago, that Herschel was kind of tentative when he ran. It kept popping out all the time. He had that off-season surgery, and at the end of this run, as you watch the block coming up here by Maurice Carthen, terrific job there. Herschel will dip his shoulder. Bang. Doesn't look bad now.
No, he doesn't. 14-0, the Generals lead. Just under 5 minutes to play in the first half here in Orlando. Slot to the right side. Rod Pegues, who can throw the football, is in the backfield. Stacked in the eye. The handoff to Pegues. For a second-year pro from Oklahoma, spun down by Ed McElhaney.
We talked about the value of Maurice Carthen in the backfield, not just as a rusher, but as a lead back, a lead blocker here. The little Bob block means back on blocker. There he stands up, Mr. Jackson.
Walker back in the backfield. Pegues out. Walker is the lone setback behind Flutie on the 2nd and 10 from the midfield. Walker has 5 as James Scott, who played his college football in the ACC at Clemson, made the stop on Herschel Walker. Now we have a little extracurricular work going on down there.
This is bad. Right here.
Mike Guess involved in the fracas. Herschel Walker involved in the dancing.
He's a peacemaker, though, not a fighter.
And Lee Corso continues with the glum look on the sideline.
Kind of football. Watch Herschel this time. Tuck that ball in and stick it in there. Runs over number 77, James Scott.
And the penalty will be assessed against Orlando. Personal foul. The ball down at the Orlando 30-yard line. 4:07 remaining in the first half. The Generals 14-0 over the Renegades, and it seems the Generals have been on the field 95% of this football game with their offensive unit. Flutie looking for some more. Gone to the end zone. The pass is broken up at the last minute. Out there was Danny Knight, but Mike Guess is back there to bat the ball away with 2 other Renegades, and there was a congestion there in the end zone.
Interesting pass pattern here. Actually, almost 4 receivers all together at once. This is Herschel Walker working against Randall, or number 50, Ed Jackson. And so Knight's there, Sam Bowers there, Albert Gray. It's all congested. Probably a pass that Doug shouldn't have thrown, or some kind of mix-up in the pass scheme.
Herschel Walker out of the ball game.
Placed by number 38, Clarence Collins.
We have Harmon and Carthen in the backfield. Harmon now moves up on the left wing. Carthen with the football. Carthen to the 26-yard line. Kelvin Atkins, the former Illini, there to stop Mr. Maurice Carthen.
Carthen's 39 yards to show for his efforts tonight. Matched with Herschel's 67. Nearly gained 100 yards as a team on the ground, not counting Flutie's specialty runs. Last week, I think Doug said that he'd probably digested about 65% of the offense. Tonight, they are unwrapping all of it. They've run all kinds of plays.
Knight to the near side split. Collins split to the wide side right. Harmon on the wing left. Flutie being chased, gets out of trouble. Some time, throws downfield, complete to Bowers, touchdown.
So much touch, so much poise, so much confidence, and great execution. You couldn't have drawn that play up any better on the chalkboard. Watch the delay here. Cawthon with the jab step. It holds the linebackers, and that's what sets up the play. Good block coming back there. And Sam Bowers, he gets loose. Flutie, nice touch in that football. Touchdown.
And the tight end beat Victor Jackson, and it was the 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Doug Flutie. Roger Ruzek to attempt to add point number 21 on the evening for the Generals. It's true. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. New Jersey leading Orlando 21-0. So far this evening in Orlando, Doug Flutie has lived up to the advanced billing. Of course, Doug is not quarterbacking against the Birmingham Stallions, but still a fine evening for the rookie from Boston College.
Which I think compares favorably as you look at those pro debut stats. Maybe we can get that back up there after the kick of Jim Kelly and Steve Young.
Roger Ruzek to kick the ball away for New Jersey. The Generals in command on the scoreboard in the stats any which way you want it. They've got the upper hand on Orlando, 21-0. Standing deep is Terry Parrish at the 4 for Orlando. Kicking now into a bit of a breeze is Ruzek. Good kick. And it will be down in the end zone by the Renegades. Terry Miller deciding not to come out wisely. It'll be 1st and 10 for Orlando from their own 20.
Another clockwork scoring drive for the Generals. This time 8 plays, 78 yards, and 3 minutes and 6 ticks on the clock eaten up. That last play was a thing of beauty. 26 yards to tight end Sam Bowers. Here's those pro debuts. Jim Kelly, his first game as a Houston Gambler, 24 for 41, 229. You see Steve Young's debut in Los Angeles. Doug Flutie's start, by comparison, not all that slow. Rome was not built in a day, and quarterbacks aren't made in the game.
And the Orlando quarterback, Jerry Golsteyn, with his first and 10 from his own 20, over the middle for a completion. And a first down to the 37-yard line to Bob Niziolek. John Preston and the fans in a bit of mock cheer, giving Golsteyn the applause for the completion.
His first completion of the night, I believe, Fred. And one thing that head coach Lee Corso said, he said, listen, Jerry Golsteyn's a quarterback who hasn't had a chance that much. He's been in the pro leagues, but he's only had close to 100 snaps as an NFL professional. I'm not going to yank this guy early. I want to believe in him. I want to give him some confidence. Golsteyn, that was his second completion.
Back slip behind Jerry, wants to throw again. Complete. Randy Johnson. Johnson is stopped at the 40-yard line by Bobby Leopold. And what a linebacking crew you have for the New Jersey Generals as we hit the 2-minute warning in this first half. New Jersey dominating the football game against the Orlando Renegades here. Doug Flutie, 3 touchdown passes, and New Jersey leads 21-0. Now the Orlando Renegades have just 1 first down this evening. They trail on the scoreboard 21-0. We have 2 minutes to go in the first half here at Orlando Stadium. Fans in a festive mood on the home opener, the first regular season United States Football League game ever played here at Orlando Stadium. It's 2nd and 8 now for the Renegades from their own 40-yard line. Johnson, the back that just moved in the backfield. Bledsoe also there. Golsteyn to throw. Incomplete. The pass overthrown, intended for Curtis Bledsoe, defending Bobby Leopold. Leopold attended Notre Dame from 1980 through 83, was a linebacker with the San Francisco 49ers. Last season, of course, with the Generals. He was an all-USFL second teamer, 6'1", 230 pounds, been in pro football for 6 seasons. 3rd and 8 now for Orlando, still at their 40-yard line. 1:56 to play in this half. 21-0, New Jersey leading. Golsteyn to throw. Incomplete. Ricky Simmons should have had the football and a first down for the Orlando Renegades, but the Nebraska grad couldn't hang on.
Jerry Golsteyn can't buy a break tonight. That one was right in Ricky Simmons' hands, as you mentioned, Fred. Jerry now 2 for 11 here in this first half, and the Renegades have nothing to show for it on the scoreboard.
Greg Cater, who was obtained by the Renegades from Memphis, will kick. Get the ball away from about his own 30. Donnell Daniel, the lone man back for New Jersey, standing at the 13 of the Generals. Good snap. Cater gets into it. High spiral. Another fair catch called by Daniel, and he makes the catch at the 15-yard line, and Flutie and the Generals will take over from there. Monday night, USFL action will find the Memphis Showboats against the Jacksonville Bulls. It'll be Monday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I understand the Jacksonville Bulls are shopping around to find what free agent veteran quarterback would like to work for them for a while. And I understand they offered Phil Simms a nice bundle of change to come down, and I guess he's mulling it over. Of course, Brian Sipe injured in the very first ball game after being traded to New Jersey.
Brad Buller, the Jacksonville owner, knows that he's got a potential playoff team in the Jacksonville Bulls, and a sound quarterback would help him achieve that goal.
On the first and 10 from his own 15, Flutie hands off to Carthen, gets away. Carthen sprinting, has a first down out of bounds at the 36-yard line. We'll call it the 37-yard line of the Generals. Freddie Nichols trying to sprint stride for stride with Maurice Carthen.
Fred, I really like this running back. Maurice, 6'1", 221 pounds, third year from Arkansas State. And he shows you that he's not just an inside runner as well. He can bounce it outside and break tackles. He'll take this one out of bounds, but not before he does some big-time damage to the Renegades.
And the Generals have been doing the damage tonight. They lead 21-0 over Orlando. First and 10 from the New Jersey 37-yard line. Flutie again to Carthen. This time nowhere for Maurice as 10 times stops it. Clock rolling down at 1:24 to go in the first half.
Funny tonight we've talked about Herschel Walker. He's been basically used as a blocker. Just as a pure runner, I think Herschel's probably the 5th best guy in the league behind Kelvin Bryant, Joe Cribbs, Gary Anderson from Tampa Bay, and maybe Buford Jordan. But again, as I mentioned last year, he was hampered by miseries. And I suspect that if I was a general manager with a new franchise, I'd probably pick Herschel number 1. He has the potential to be one of the greatest backs that ever lived. He's got so much talent.
Well, on the 2nd and 8, 5-yard penalty assessed against Orlando. And that marches the ball to the 44-yard line of the New Jersey Generals.
Again, that's not a disservice to Herschel Walker, but an indication of how many top-notch running backs there are in the United States Football League.
With 1:10 to play in the half, Flutie wants to throw, dumps it off incomplete. Pass for Harmon, a little underthrown. Clarence couldn't scoop it off the grass top. Natural surface field here in Orlando in beautiful condition.
What a half Doug Flutie has had.
Herschel Walker, as you see, checking in. Just a little bit more than a minute to go in the first half. Flutie breaks him from the huddle. Collins wide to the right side. Knight to the near side left. Wing on the left side. 3rd and 8 for New Jersey from their own 39. First down for the Generals, Maurice Carthen.
Renegades are just getting flat out worn out up front. That one, Kenny Times, who's been on about 100 tackles tonight or so, it seems, behind that up front blocking of number 58, the center, Kent Hall, number 64, the right guard, Wade Harris, left guard, 66, Vince Stroh. They've had a lot of success pounding it up the middle and setting things up for Doug Flutie.
Sunday in the season opener in Birmingham, the Stallions control the play as much as the Generals are here this evening. Flutie to throw again, incomplete. Herschel Walker making a fine effort to come up with a football as it was thrown behind him, but he was sandwiched down there by Elbert Gray and Eddie Jackson.
Sometimes with that sidearm release, Doug's ball will float on him a little bit and tail away from the receiver. Herschel did a nice job of trying to get back to it, but had no chance. Had Jackson, number 50, there on the coverage.
Do you like the sidearm release of the quarterback, or do you think it makes much of a difference?
If it's effective, it works. Don't change his mechanics. We'll talk about it in a second.
Shotgun on a 2nd and 10 for New Jersey from the Generals 48. Flutie has that one batted down before he could even get it into the air.
94, Kevin Kellen, who's 6'6", 265 pounds from Minnesota. That time, that's where all the detractors jump in and said, this guy is too small to throw. Now watch out of the shotgun formation. Watch where he releases the ball. He actually throws the ball smaller than 5'9" tall because he releases it from the side. But that way he gets so much power. He's got a great whip motion there. They're the passing lane, not just open there. Dan Maggs, number 76, was the guy. What they try to teach offensive linemen, Fred, are to get into the defensive tackles, keep their arms down.
Again, the shotgun on the 3rd and 10. Walker looking to throw. stopped for a big loss, but just spun off the intended tackle and then picked up some yardage, but it will still be a 4th down for New Jersey.
Lupe Sanchez, number 21, the Renegades left cornerback, looks like a fly trying to tackle a Mack truck. Here's Herschel looking to throw the ball. Lupe comes up to make the big hit. Herschel doesn't even feel it. I don't even think he saw Lupe, and he makes a play out of this. Herschel Walker is...
And we have a timeout on the field below us, 21-0. The New Jersey Generals leading the Orlando Renegades with under a half minute to play in this first half, and it has been a Flutie half and a Generals half. And now Herschel Walker, as we showed on the replay, having a fine night running. And you can see Walker's had many fine evenings in the USFL.
We talked about earlier, alluded to some of Herschel's slow starts. He didn't, in 1983 and 84, he didn't gain over 100 yards until his 5th game of the season. At his clip tonight, and I think he's somewhere in the 70s, he should do that in just the 2nd game this year. And that's a good sign, and that's a sign that Herschel's probably 100% physically this season.
Partridge. Okay. Rick sails it. The ball will hit and go into the end zone. So the Orlando Renegades will have the football at their own 20-yard line with about 17 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, this is the kind of thing that Lee Corso was hoping to avoid. He needed to instill the team needed a confidence builder. After getting beat last week 35-7 with the Tampa Bay Bandits, the scenario is unfolding again here tonight. They were down 21-0 in that game. They're down 21-0 tonight, which means that Jerry Golsteyn, the Renegade quarterback, has got to throw the ball to get back in this game, and that means you can just tee your ears back and go for it.
Well, Donald Trump made the trip from New York along with his wife and his son, and Donald will be talking to Mike Adamle at halftime, and I'm sure Donald will have a big smile on his face after a bit of a frown in the first game. Of course, Donald called the Generals' offense last week ridiculous, and maybe he'll have a much better adjective for the team tonight.
Well, when he decided to pluck Doug Flutie out of Boston College before he reached the National Football League, he had some big things in mind, and I think his performance so far in the first half is the kind of thing that Donald Trump was looking for.
As you saw, 17 seconds to play in the first half. Goldstein with the 1st and 10 from the Orlando 20. Jerry over the middle, the pass complete to Bledsoe. Bledsoe on the move to the 37-yard line, mark at the 38. Mike Weddington finally making the stop for the Generals. 9 seconds to play in the half.
You know, casual football fans look at that play and they say, why can't the Renegades do this all game long? Well, they got to prevent defense in. They're all playing back. Michaels isn't about to give up a score here with just 9 seconds left to go. He'd like to go in to the locker room 21 zip.
Now we have a timeout down on the field once again. You know, talking about timeouts here, Mike, this defense of the Orlando Renegades, they have played a whole football game in one half as long as they've been on the field.
I think they've played a whole season, Fred.
Started the game, temperature was 77 degrees, about 46% humidity, but down on the field a bit more humid and a little bit warmer, and it takes a lot out of you.
I saw that last graphic. What an illustration. New Jersey 20 first downs to Orlando's 2.
1st and 10 for the Renegades.
4 wide receivers in the game for Orlando.
They're going to flood.
Hail Mary, full of grace.
And we'll see if it's answered. It is not. The prayer could have been answered had the pass been hung on to by Jerry Parrish. John Preston defending. Parrish flying down the near sideline, but couldn't hang on to the pass.
In his hands, and really John Preston here, no excuse for this. He takes a pretty bad angle and allows Parrish to kind of slip in beside him. Jerry makes a nice toss there, Goldstein does, and they should have had that. Deserved the better fate. 1 second left to go.
21-0. The New Jersey Generals dominating the football game so far here in Orlando. Lee Corso will do a bit of talking to the Renegades at the half.
Last week, Doug Flutie on the sidelines at Legion Field in Birmingham, slapping himself for what had happened.
The time running out. Goldstein wants to throw on the 2nd and 10. Again incomplete. This time an excuse for Jerry Parrish for not hanging on. The excuse was Donnell Daniel, who really laid into him. And that's it. The first half is over. The New Jersey Generals and Doug Flutie leading the Orlando Renegades by a 21-0 score. Well, halftime is still underway. The festivities at halftime here in Orlando. And the fans in the stands are having a lot of fun watching the halftime performance. However, the first half, the only fun that was had was by the New Jersey Generals, as that score indicates, Mike Adamley.
And these statistics indicate no need to run through them all. Suffice to say that the first half was a giant mismatch, everything in New Jersey's favor. Total yard, they are on their way, if everything is providing Walt Michaels doesn't pull the starting unit, to a 600-yard total offense performance. But I don't think that'll happen tonight. First of all, I think the Renegades are bound to get a little better in the second half. Jerry Golsteyn, the Renegades quarterback, is bound to get a little bit better, a little more confident. But again, it's a problem. It's the thing that Lee Corso feared the most. He said, this team needs a confidence builder in the worst way. They took a lot of stock in how they played in the fourth quarter last week against the Tampa Bay Bandits. Another indication of New Jersey's supremacy over the Renegades. First, not too many missed chances there. One missed field goal, a couple of punts, and the rest are touchdowns and points on the scoreboard.
You mentioned Lee Corso looking for that confidence builder. I don't think he's going to get it next weekend with the Birmingham Stallions. The New Jersey Generals next weekend will play and welcome in their home opener at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, Steve Young and the Los Angeles Express. In
all fairness, I mean, Orlando is really an expansion team.
Right.
I don't think the league did Lee Corso and the Orlando franchise too many favors when they stockpiled this franchise. The mergers helped the other teams, but it didn't seem to help Orlando. So he's got a tough job, and he's got some young kids with some talent, but perhaps not enough. This was some of Lee's thoughts about what he learned in that first game against the Birmingham Stallions. It was a tough outing, but he learned something about himself. Lee Corso.
Well, I learned that pros are no different than the college players. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes I made was the fact of listening to too many people about how to coach pro football and what to do with pro athletes. And I didn't do a real good job last week. And I feel like we're much better prepared to be a much better football team at this time than we were last week because of the lessons I learned.
Another thing that Lee learned is that the USFL teams have become a great deal better in the span of 2 years. You know, he worked as a commentator and analyst for ABC 2 years ago, and he has seen giant strides made in the types of team they have in this league.
As a matter of fact, I think Lee did the first big USFL game down at RFK. Watching, at that time, he didn't know he'd be coaching the new Washington Federals, taking on George Allen and the Chicago Blitz. And they had a big crowd on hand for that game. And then, of course, in Washington, things really deteriorated from there. They tried to sell the franchise to Miami, and it looked like for a while that Howard Schnellenberger would become the coach of the Miami franchise in the United States Football League. That dissipated. Now they're here in Orlando under the ownership of Donald Disney, and they hope to have success in this Central Florida city, a great tourist area, and a rapidly expanding area for just a great place to live. Back deep for the Orlando Renegades as he awaits the kickoff from Roger Ruzak is Jerry Parrish. It's a high kick, but short. Parrish will take it straight up. Parrish is still on the move to the 30-yard line. Good return by Parrish that time. Duncan to make the stop for New Jersey, and now the Renegades will start this second half with the football down 21-0 at their own 31-yard line.
Jerry Golsteyn leading the attack, 6'4", 210 pounds, stops with Tampa Bay, the New York Giants, the Los Angeles Raiders. This is the first time he's really been anybody's starting quarterback. Lee Corso believes in him, and maybe he can get things rolling here for the Renegades in the second half.
Curtis Bledsoe trying to climb up the back of a blocker. Can't do it. Little or no gain. Nose tackle Frank Mattiace combining with right defensive end for New Jersey Jim Byrne on the stop of Curtis Bledsoe, 4-year pro from San Diego State.
Those front three for the Generals are a load. 74, Jim Byrne, as you see him waddle back to the huddle, a hefty guy, 6'4", 274 pounds. He'd probably like to wring my neck, but he's a good one. Good right end from Wisconsin lacrosse.
Simmons to the near side right split. Walters wide left. The back split. Second and 9. Bledsoe left. Got a blocker in front of him. He outruns the blocker, and then he stopped. Ed Fulton was trying to get out there, but that was the problem they had last week against Tampa Bay. The guards could not get in front to throw the blocks for Bledsoe.
To rectify that problem, they just signed yesterday, number 63. There you see him scrambling on the ground. Tom Dornbrook, who was an all-USFL selection back in 1983 with the then Michigan Panthers. He was waived last year by the Oakland Invaders. He had a physical this week. He looked good. Lee Corso thinks he can help. He didn't help on that play, but it wasn't his fault entirely.
It's a third and short yardage, 2 yards to go for Orlando from their own 39. We'll have double tight ends bookending the line. Straight eyes, 3 backs behind Golsteyn. Breaking out with a first down and more. Sprinting is Odom. Odom into New Jersey territory at the 35-yard line. Justin and Johnson combining for New Jersey. The first excitement offensively of the night for Orlando.
Watch the block on number 74 by number 70, Jerry Dozier on Jim Byrne. Excellent job of turning him outside and allowing Henry Odom, who made a great cut. You'll see the cut here. Boom, he sees the hole, bounces it back. The Generals over pursue the play. Henry Odom nearly goes all the way.
First down for Orlando at the 36 of New Jersey. Golsteyn. With the near side is Bledsoe. Bledsoe to the 29-yard line. A gain of about 6. Terry Justin, the left cornerback, stopping Curtis Bledsoe. And now some excitement ruffling through the stands in Orlando as their offense is moving.
I'll tell you, if the Renegades score, you're going to see this place explode.
They've been waiting a whole half, and now we have 12:52 to go in the third quarter for an explosion out of the pass. Joey Walters wide to the left side. Near side right, Ricky Simmons. Back split behind Golsteyn again. Second and 4 from the 30. Bledsoe should have the first down. He's got it. Bledsoe to the 20-yard line. John Preston and John Joyce stopping Curtis Bledsoe, but another Orlando first down. And I wonder what Lee Corso said to that team at half.
Don't give up. Don't lose your confidence. Here, Tom Dornbrook probably misses his assignment. I don't think that was a cross-counter play. A little bit lost, but this is his first game in over a year. Just signed yesterday, as I mentioned earlier. And a former Pittsburgh Steeler. Got a Super Bowl ring in his trophy case.
The ball at the New Jersey 20. First down for Orlando. Walters to the near side. Split. Simmons wide side left. Bledsoe eludes a tackler in the backfield. Inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Weddington and LeClaire there for Walt Michaels of the New Jersey Generals.
That time, Curtis gave you an indication why he was a 1,000-yard rusher a year ago for the Washington Federals. Was actually stopped in the backfield and scrambled around to make a play of it. Gain of 3 as Walt Michaels looks on.
Walters will now go left. Simmons right. Again, the back split. We have Odom and Bledsoe in the backfield. Bledsoe near side. He gets the handoff going left. He gets away from LeClaire. Bledsoe to the 10. Bledsoe to the 7-yard line. Goal to go for Orlando.
Brad, that was the same play that they ran moments ago. This time, number 63. Watch him. Left of your screen, Tom Dornbrook. He'll pull the right way this time. Jim LeClaire almost makes a great play, but Bledsoe does a great job of breaking the tackle. Dornbrook kicks out the quarterback. Bledsoe almost winds up in the end zone. First down, Renegades inside the 10-yard line.
At the 7. Simmons left split. Wide right, Walters. Again, Odom and Bledsoe in the backfield split behind Golsteyn on the first and goal to go from the New Jersey 7. Odom stopped at the line, but leg drives it forward to the 5-yard line. Frank Matties, the big nose tackle, plugging up the hole.
Now, this is where the Renegades have to do some business. Corso before the game and in yesterday's production meeting, what we haven't done well and what we need to do better is score and convert on short yardage situations. The Renegades haven't done that. This is their first opportunity to see if they can.
Double tight ends for Orlando. Second and goal to go from the 6. Bledsoe inside the 5, still fighting to the 4. And you've got a lot of that white and general red there to stop him at about the 5-yard line.
Number 36, Henry Odom, coming with a play from the Renegade sideline, and a lot of times in clutch situations, Lee Corso will call the play right there on the sidelines without talking to the man upstairs. The man upstairs being his offensive coordinator.
Not the man upstairs.
Not the man upstairs.
21-0, New Jersey leads with 9:22 to play in the third quarter. However, Orlando has it third and goal to go from the New Jersey 5. Odom and Bledsoe split in the backfield again, 2 tight ends. Walters in motion to the far side. Fake handoff. Golsteyn throws. Incomplete, but behind the intended receiver, Henry Odom. Odom was open. He had Preston beat.
Jerry Golsteyn, and he would love to have this play back. Everything is set up perfectly. The play action fake to Curtis Bledsoe. He lays the block. Odom wide open. The Generals don't have it covered. He had beaten John Preston, the safety, the strong safety. Still, Jerry Golsteyn goes to the sideline and is getting
a timeout with the ball sitting at the 5-yard line of New Jersey. 4th down and goal to go. Lee Corso, as you see, having the big brain trust down there. Jerry Golsteyn looking in. Corso talking with his assistant coaches. Looks up, looks down at the situation that he faces now. Reggie Collier just comes in to listen to see what the coach has called in this key situation for the Orlando Renegades in this third quarter. Going to have a field goal try as Jeff Brockhaus comes in. The fans don't like it.
The other gentleman in the baseball hat and the mustache is the Renegades' third-string quarterback, Steve Kozarkowicz, who had some NFL time with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Mike, Lee said he might pull some rabbits out of the hat tonight. Do you think with Greg Cater holding, we might have something coming?
Cater can throw the ball. Cater's a good athlete. He's got an arm, and perhaps they will. But I'm sure that Walt Michaels, knowing Corso's personality, has instructed the Generals, hey, watch out.
Well, Brockhaus kicks through his first field goal, the first 3-pointer of the season for the kicker, and the Orlando Renegades have scored. It's New Jersey 21, Orlando 3. Well, the Renegades on the board for the first time this evening. We have 9:03 to play in the third quarter. The Generals have 21 points, the Renegades 3. Jeff Brockhaus, the man who put the 3-pointer on the board for Lee Corso's team, booting to kick it off. Hackett, as well as Daniel beat. Daniel takes it at the 16. Crosses the field at the 20, to the 25. Trying to fight his way up over the 26. A flag down across the field as Daniel is stopped at the 27 by Kelvin Atkins. We beg your indulgence this evening. We do not have the hookup with the officials for his call and his determination of who committed the penalty. But it will go against the New Jersey Generals. Marked back to the 16-yard line. A holding call against the Generals. It'll be first down for Doug Flutie. The first time the Heisman Trophy winner from Boston College has his hands on the football this second half. And there's how the Renegades put their points on the board. Jerry Golsteyn leading them down into field goal territory. Neil Colsey, we understand, will not be back in the ballgame this evening. Pulled hamstring bothering the strong safety. Doug Flutie with Walker in motion. Carthen with the football. Carthen cuts back to the 21-yard line. Ed Jackson. Gain of about 5 for Maurice Carthen with Ed Jackson there to stop him.
One of the things that set that play up as you look at Maurice's totals for this evening, 72 yards on the night, was Herschel Walker's really been used like a decoy tonight. That time he went wide. Linebacker Flo carried them in that direction. Carthen able to cut it back for a nice gain.
Knight wide to the near side left. Collins wide right. Again, the eye behind Doug Flutie. Long count. Walker just a couple of yards as Herschel was hit by Ed McElhaney talking to Doug Flutie.
Chris Palmer himself, a small quarterback. He's about 5'8", I think. Played his football at Southern Connecticut State and was the offensive coordinator for Colgate from 1976 through 84. Some great credentials.
Third down play for Flutie and the Generals, 3rd and 3 from their own 23. Sidearms it, has the first down. Walker with the football to the 31-yard line. Ron Freeman. I said Walker, it was Harmon. Harmon out of the backfield for the reception. A little sidearm pass, and Harmon made the reception. The first down for the Generals, McAllister and Jackson there.
Sidearm pass with touch. Little delay pattern.
First and 10 for the Generals. Hackett into the ball game, splitting to the near side. Harper, the lone setback behind Flutie. He's got the football, and he drives it forward to the 35. And McElhaney again on the stop for the Orlando Renegades. Maurice Carthen just keeps the legs driving, as every coach from high school, Pop Warner, to college to pro tells you. When you're a running back, keep the legs going and you power it. 6:11 to go in this third quarter. 21-3. The Generals lead. Walker swings it out. Walker with a first down out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Mike Guess with a bump out of Herschel.
This is where Herschel Walker's speed is so important. He gained yardage, gained a near first down where other backs don't. He gets a good block from the tight end, Sam Bowers, who's the only tight end the Generals have tonight. He gets a little help from some of his friends there. Herschel able to turn it outside past Lupe Sanchez to pick up the first down.
Jeff Speck, the reserve tight end, suffered a concussion last Sunday against Birmingham. They say he could play. There's really no problem. But Walt Michael says it's a long season. He wants to hold him out, make sure he's 100%. First and 10 for New Jersey, their 40. Hackett is there, but it's batted away at the last minute by Albert Gray. Good recovery by Albert Gray.
Albert Gray feels like a marked man tonight. They've been going in his direction all the time. Again, Flutie's ball, that sidearm thing sometimes has a tendency to hang in the air. That allowed number 22 Gray to get back on Marcus Hackett. Watch it again, this time a little after the play.
Marcus Hackett from Syracuse has two brothers who play for William and Mary. 2nd and 10.
And their names are William and Mary.
For the Generals. Slipping down at the 46-yard line. Clarence Harmon. Mike Guess is there to cover him. Gain of 5 for the New Jersey Generals at their own 46-yard line. 5:35 to go in this third quarter. Walt Michaels, content look on the sideline.
I don't think he ever changes his expression.
Just look straight ahead, like one of the faces in Mount Rushmore.
Good, solid football coach. Good, solid man, Walt Michaels.
3rd and 5 now for New Jersey. The eye again. Walker, the deep back in that eye. Herschel blasting has the first down. Atkins in on the tackle of Herschel Walker, but not before the first down.
Lee Corso thinking about calling the National Guard, somebody to stop this potent General offense tonight. Herschel Walker, we talked about him, doesn't seem like he's been running the ball much, but he has 18 carries for 84 yards and on his way to a 100-yard night.
Bowers will be the end and tight on the near side, slot to the right side. One setback behind Flutie. Herschel Walker. Downfield with a pass, wide open. The catch, first down, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Clarence Collins, his 3rd touchdown of the night.
I'll tell you this.
Collins and Flutie.
Again, notice service to the Renegades. This is not a championship caliber team, however. Again, what makes this work is Flutie rolling out of the pocket. There's a blown coverage here, quite frankly. The safety, the nickelback, number 25, Nichols, goes with the wrong man, leaving Collins wide open there for the touchdown, his third of the evening, as you mentioned, Fred. 27 before the extra point, 3 in favor of the Generals.
Kruzek trying to put the nail on that six-pointer. He's got it. And it is now the New Jersey Generals leading the Orlando Renegades 28-3. Doug Flutie has already thrown 4 touchdown passes. The Renegades first and 10 from their own 20-yard line, trailing 28-3 with 4:14 to play in this third quarter. Golsteyn to the air again, over the middle, the pass complete, first down for the Renegades at their 36-yard line. Bob Niziolek making the reception and getting the first down, stopped by Daniel. Last weekend, a big weekend in Los Angeles for a fellow by the name of Jimmy Kelly. 5 touchdowns, 574 yards, records in pro football, and tonight, Mike Adamley, another possibly on the verge here.
Doug Flutie, in just his second professional game, has already 4 touchdowns, 3:43 remaining here in the third quarter. He could tie that mark.
Golsteyn gives it off, and not going anywhere was Henry Odom because Jim LeClaire was there right on top of the batter.
Young, inexperienced offensive line for the Orlando Renegades. Jim LeClaire was coming all the way. Nobody picked him up, and thus the busted play.
2nd and 10 for the Renegades. It's their first ever game in the regular season of the United States Football League. Here before their home fans in Orlando. Joey Walt is wide to the left side. Split near side right is Simmons. Back split behind Golsteyn. On the 2nd and 11, Jerry throws incomplete. Intended for his tight end coming across, but Daniel was defending well, and really the ball was a poor throw.
One of the things that burned the Generals, or actually burned the Renegades last week, was some turnovers. So far there have been, I don't think, any turnovers in this game. No fumbles, no interceptions by either team, yet the Gades are down 28-3.
2:52 remaining in the third quarter here in Orlando. Renegades third and 11 now from their 34-yard line. Slot both right and left. Shotgun for Golsteyn on the 3rd and long. Golsteyn's got problems, and he is hit and wrapped up and dropped by James Lockett, the left defensive end.
Give all the credit to the Generals secondary on that play. Golsteyn did have some time initially. I think he held, all the quarterback needs is a couple of seconds. He had that time, but the receivers were blanketed, and finally Frank Lockett
and
James Lockett from behind.
Jimmy Byrne combining on the tackle with Lockett. Cater to punt. Daniel back at the 27-yard line of New Jersey. Short kick. Daniel up. Takes it at the 37. Eludes a tackler to the 40. Good return by Daniel to the 49-yard line of New Jersey. Victor Jackson there to make the hit and the stop. 2:32 to remain in this third quarter. New Jersey 28, Orlando 3. Generals, who have moved with ease through the Orlando Renegade defense, have the football 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line following the punt. There's the man who's thrown for 4 touchdowns tonight, Doug Flutie. 3 of them to Clarence Collins. Slot to the near side left. Green on the left side. Walker with the football, picking his way, and a nice tackle there made by Fred McAllister. McAllister tried to strip Walker of the football, got it away, but not until the whistle had blown.
Flutie again, the little counter play, the 2 guards, both the guards pull right. Herschel trying to find the block of Vince Stroth, number 66, but great individual effort there by number 56. Fred McAllister, rookie out of Florida, 6'1", 240.
Knight wide to the far side. Splitting left is Collins. Overloaded in the backfield to the right side of Flutie. Walker with it again. Walker fights his way, and he gave that on desire. About 3 extra yards after he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Walker brings it down to the 45-yard line of Orlando. Flutie Sanchez stopping him for the Renegades. They mark the ball at the 46 of Orlando. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for Flutie and the Generals. Under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Situation, substitution, obvious passing situations. Corso brings in 74 Joe Ehrman and 67 Ken Times to put a little more heat. And Mr. Flutie, 3rd down and 5. Walker back, split formation.
Flutie to the air. Downfield, overthrow. Intended for the tight end, Sam Bowers. Flutie Sanchez back with Bowers, but it was just overthrown.
Even in the incompletions tonight, Flutie's ball looks wonderful in flight. Nice tight spiral. Bowers, just nice coverage by Lupe Sanchez, who's been a marked man himself tonight. I think they've run his side about 10 or 11 times this evening.
Partridge to kick. Victor Jackson waiting. He'll just watch it. Sails to the end zone and in. So Jerry Golsteyn and the Renegades will bring the football out on the offense at the 20-yard line. 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. New Jersey 28, Orlando 3. Jerry Golsteyn still at quarterback, as he will stay in Lee Corso's scheme of things. Completes the pass to Ricky Simmons for the first down at the 37-yard line. Dropped immediately by Gregory Johnson.
And we may have a holding call in the play. Yes, we do. However, it's defensive holding against the Generals. I don't know if we'll be able to pick it up in this replay, but watch the frozen rope that Jerry Golsteyn throws here. He looks over to the right, then goes back to the left to Ricky Simmons, who does a nice little curl pattern in front of Johnson, number 32. That was a big league throw.
And we have a penalty being marched off against the New Jersey Generals that'll help the Orlando Renegades even more. Personal foul against the Generals, and it brings the ball to the 46-yard line of New Jersey. 1st and 10 for Orlando.
Flutie tonight, 11 for 22, 191, 619.75 for Golsteyn. Jerry doesn't have the luxury of a Herschel Walker or Maurice Coughlin in his backfield.
Odom trying to gain something as he was strung out along the near side. John Joyce finally making the tackle, and that should end this third quarter here in Orlando. The Generals in front comfortably. So that's it, the end of the third quarter, with New Jersey leading Orlando 28-3.
The first interception of this ball game by either team. I think that number 17, Joey Walters, could have done Jerry a favor on this play by coming back for the ball. Ken Johnson, number 32's got the coverage. Goldstein's got the protection. See the coverage right here. Johnson cutting back underneath. Actually makes a great athletic play to go up and beat Joey Walters for the ball. Good individual effort by Ken Johnson, his first INT of 1985.
So the Heisman winner, Flutie, has the football, 1st and 10 from his own 22. Maurice Carthen charges up to the 30-yard line for the Generals.
Look at the mismatch again in terms of statistics, time and possession. 407 total yards. That's the big difference. We mentioned Doug Flutie is going after a record by Jim Kelly of 5 touchdowns. Actually, 4 other quarterbacks hold that. Bobby Hebert from Michigan, Cliff Stout from Birmingham, Chuck Fusina from the Philadelphia, now Baltimore Stars, and Walter Lewis from Memphis.
And Jim
Kelly did it twice.
Walker trying to get outside right. Lupe Sanchez won't let him, and he finally struggles him down.
Yesterday, Lee Corso said, hey, I asked him who's his best defensive back. He said, without question, number 21, Lupe Sanchez. They go after him. Every team goes after him. They look at him on the charts, 5'10", 190, so there's not much there, but he has been a great support corner tonight. He's been run over a couple of times, but he's given 60 pounds away to that man in the middle of the general huddle, Herschel Walker.
Sanchez, a 4-year starter at UCLA, a first-round pick for the Arizona Wranglers in 1984. 3rd and 2 for the Generals. They're all 30. Walker tripped in his own backfield, stumbles forward to the 31, won't have the first down. Val Brown there. And so for one of the few times this evening, the Generals are stalled.
Look at the work of tight end Sam Bowers, the old cave-in block working against 94 Kevin Killen, and Sam Bowers caved him in.
Rick Partridge, who doesn't really unpack his luggage wherever he goes in pro football.
Our all-luggage team. Partridge has been with the Packers, the Saints, the Chargers, the Colts, the Gold, the Panther, and now the Renegades.
And he puts the ball in the air. Taking it is Victor Jackson. Jackson to the 37 and stopped. 12:36 remains in this football game as Mike Whittington makes the stop for New Jersey. The Generals leading the Renegades 28-3. Nice opening night for the Orlando Renegades in the stands. Maybe not in the scoreboard as they trail 28-3 here in the fourth quarter. There you see the attendance. Well, we get a nice welcome from the good folks here in Florida, Central Florida in Orlando. We thank them. First and 10 for the Renegades. Golsteyn. Bledsoe with the football, and Golsteyn 3 yards and a flag down. And again, we apologize for not having the official's microphone this evening. There's a switch broken, we understand, and that's why we don't hear the dulcet tones of the zebra man.
Guilty party, probably happy that we don't.
The players are, I'm sure. Yeah. Golsteyn on the first and 10. The Generals 45. Throws incomplete. 2 receivers in the same area. Making the diving try was Joey Walters. Kyle Borland defending. Again, it looked like a bad route.
No, actually a miscue back there between Randy Johnson, number 24, and the other wide receiver. That's what bugs Lee Corso. He said, I don't mind getting beat as long as we play well, but when we make stupid mistakes, assignment mistakes, that's what gives a coach gray hairs.
Still sitting in that jersey 45. It's now 2nd down and 10 for the Renegades, who trail 28-3. Just under 12 minutes to play in the football game. Clears it out. Bledsoe still on his feet. First down for Curtis Bledsoe to the 31-yard line of New Jersey. Donnell Daniel making the hit on Bledsoe, finally corralling the San Diego State running back.
Jerry Golsteyn does a nice job of setting this play up. A type of screen here as you see Curtis Bledsoe coming across. Both the offensive guards pull here. Curtis does a nice job of going behind Mr. Fulton's block, the right guard, to pick up the extra yardage.
So another first down for the Renegades. Receivers wide right. Simmons wide left. Walton. Golsteyn to throw. Again to Bledsoe. Again, Bledsoe with some running room. He gains 5 as Gilbert and Emmanuel Weaver sandwich the halfback.
If it works once, why not use it again? Almost virtually the same play. Swing screen to Curtis Bledsoe. Should Jerry Golsteyn be relieved in this game, Lee Corso would go to number 10, Reggie Collar. He doesn't look like he's in any frame of mind to play a football game right now. He won't even be used by Lee Corso based on the meetings we had with Lee yesterday.
Well, the scoreboard marks it 2nd and 6. Bledsoe again, and he is working hard in his second half. Curtis inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Curtis Bledsoe by far and away the Renegades' most effective running back and best running back. It's time time he overruns his sweep blockers there. Number 52, Mike Weddington, makes the play.
Of course, Curtis, 2 straight pass receptions, then the run, and we now have a 3rd down and a long 2 for Orlando at that 23 of New Jersey. Power eye behind Golsteyn. Bledsoe again with the football. Bledsoe trip and slides forward to about the 21. It depends on the mark. Kyle Borland tripping him up. I think Curtis Bledsoe will earn his paycheck tonight, Mike.
13 carries, about 52 yards. He's getting hit by 3 or 4 Generals.
They mark the ball at the 22 of New Jersey. They need 1 yard for the first down. It's a 4th down.
Golsteyn with the roll pass. Johnson there to break it up. Number 88, Freddie Eccles, held on to the ball, just had it stripped loose. Number 17, Joey Walters, Johnny on the spot for the touchdown. Hey, Renegades.
And now there was a rhubarb going on down at the 4-yard line, and now they negate the touchdown, apparently. Let's see what the official says. First down. They mark it a first down for Orlando rather than the touchdown.
Essentially what they said, if they're going to spot the ball on the 4-yard line, is that the reception was good, it counted, and once the ball knocked down, dead ball.
Let's watch it again. Eccles juggling. And he lost control of the football.
Regained it.
It's batted out of his hand into the end zone. And you would think that it would have been 6 points for Orlando.
I don't understand how they can spot the ball on the 4-yard line. If they ruled it a completion, it's also a fumble.
And tonight we do not have the replay capability for the official in the booth as we've had in the previous games in the preseason and last Sunday at Birmingham. First and goal to go for Orlando. Golsteyn hands off and is 3 down to about the 2-yard line. Curtis Bledsoe. And power eye again. Golsteyn to the end zone.
Shots here. Oh, this is the play of the touchdown pass. You see Niziolek wide open there. Kerry Justin just not where he should have been.
Brockhaus kicking off for Orlando. Hackett back, and Hackett is hit at the 15, bounces away. Hackett's still on the move, but he can only 7:34 to play in the football game. And Jerry Golsteyn engineering that touchdown drive. Actually, Curtis Bledsoe carrying the touchdown drive on his back as he ran, caught, but didn't get the 6 points. Flutie and the Generals with the football, first and 10 from their own 19. Despite the lead, Flutie throws. The ball is batted down by Val Brown. Brown right in Flutie's face and just stuffed it back.
One of the few things I've seen Doug do something wrong tonight. But each play, each game, each day of practice, a learning experience. I don't think Doug ever saw Val Brown in that play.
Val Brown doing what every defensive lineman is told to do when you come into the quarterback, keep those hands up. And in tight right side, Bowers for New Jersey, slot to the left side. Walker looking for the hole. Very little yardage to the 20-yard line maybe as Val Brown is there again, playing big for Orlando, but they trail by 18, 28-10. Now the clarification of the ruling, the person, when you have a fumble, as we did a couple of minutes ago, that was called back on a 6-point, apparent 6 points for Orlando, is the person who fumbles the football must recover it in the end zone for the touchdown. Third down and 9 for New Jersey. Now Flutie, being a bit confused by the Orlando defense, calls the timeout. 6:21 to play in this football game. New Jersey continuing to lead over Orlando 28-10. Monday night, the Memphis Showboats take their big gang into Jacksonville to take on the Bulls in Monday night USFL action. Roger Quibell and Ed Biles will be there. And Bobby Mahfouz will be quarterbacking the Jacksonville Bulls in place of Brian Syatt, who's recovering now from surgery. Flutie on the 3rd and 9. Being chased. Flutie better get rid of it. He does. He throws it away.
Eddie Jackson, number 50, ran about a mile in that one trying to track down Doug Flutie. Take a look at that controversial call here. Actually, the official made the correct call. According to the rules, only the man who fumbles the football can recover it in the end zone. A modification of the famed Dave Casper rule, and Snake Stabler purposely is rolling dice against the San Diego Chargers.
Heavy rush. Partridge gets it away, but not a good kick. Jackson will watch the ball, and so will the Generals, and they touch it at the 43-yard line of Orlando. Mike Weddington touching it down there. 6 minutes to go in the football game, with New Jersey leading the Orlando Renegades 28-10. Curtis Bledsoe has seen a lot of running and catching. We talk about him. There he is. Bledsoe over the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
A lot of credit got to go to the Washington Husky.
Back split behind Golsteyn. Jerry wants to throw. Rifles it complete to Joey Walters for a first down at New Jersey's 40.
Lee Corso told us before this ball game, one of the things they had to do to even be competitive against the Generals tonight was to hit their wideouts. Last week, Joey Walters, who was the leading receiver in the Eastern Conference a year ago, caught only 2 passes for 16 yards. There, Joey did a great job of driving Kenny Johnson off the ball and then coming back for Goldstein's strike.
And they place it at the 38 of New Jersey. 1st and 10 for Orlando. Walters in motion to the near side. Goldsteyn to throw again. Complete. Goldsteyn hot now, has it down to the 20-yard line. Another first down. Ricky Simmons making the reception.
Jerry Golsteyn, not exactly Doug Flutie, but he's nimble enough in this particular instance to get out of trouble, roll to his left a little bit, and throw back to his right, an indication of how strong Jerry's arm can be. Nice bit of touch here. Ricky Simmons behind John Joyce, number 47. The general tackler, Maurice Clemens, number 59, there too late, and another Renegade first down. And they could make this respectable, Fred.
Well, they trail by 18, but they have looked like a different football team this second half against the New Jersey defense. 4:39 to play in the football game. Lee Corso at the half made the adjustments. Jerry Golsteyn probably was looking over his shoulder a little bit. Corso probably went over and said, look, you're my quarterback, you're staying in there. And it has paid off for Corso and the Renegades. Lee told us yesterday that Jerry Golsteyn will be his quarterback. They'll stick by him through thick and thin. He likes the fact that he has one quarterback. He doesn't want the controversy of who's going to play, who's not going to play at the signal caller spot. And he says Golsteyn is man, and he'll stick with him.
And if you're the quarterback, it's a marvelous psychological lift, something Jerry has not been had benefit him throughout his career.
Another first down for Orlando at the 20 of New Jersey. The backs are split. Golsteyn puts it in the air again. Flag down. Interference will be the call against Ken Johnson.
Joey Walters can't believe it. Joey Walters in between. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Kenny Johnson tripped him up from behind. So it's marked down to the 10-yard line
for the Orlando Renegades. The offensive line for the Renegades last week gave up 8 sacks. Tonight, a much more respectable performance. Again, the receivers, wide right, wide left, high, behind Golsteyn on the first and goal to go. Fumble, Simmons has the ball rolling around, fallen on by Lynn Madsen for New Jersey, and a tough break for the Orlando Renegades. Ricky Simmons couldn't hang on to the football, and Madsen ends the drive.
Gadget plays are great when they work and absolutely horrible when they don't. This one looked like it was set up. The flanker reversed to number 7, Ricky Simmons. Play action fake there. Here comes number 7, Simmons. Ball was right there. Looks like the handoff was fine. Ricky just, his eyes weren't on it. Lynn Madsen, number 72, right there to pick it up. Tough break for the Renegades.
Just a little bit more than 3 minutes to play in this football game. 28-10 the score. The Generals now with the football thanks to the fumble recovery by Madsen. First and 10 from their own 19. You saw Walker just sneak through there and then put on the burst of speed and pick up the yardage.
Secret of great running backs are the ones who can turn it on in an instant acceleration, go from 0 to 60 in an eye blink. Walker can do all of that, yet he's 2 yards shy from that 100-yard mark, and if he can do it tonight, it will be the earliest time in his career that he has done so in his 3-year USFL career.
Second down, let's call it a long one for the Generals at their own 27-yard line. They're in command on the scoreboard, 28-10. Under 3 minutes to play in the football game. The Generals look for their first one of the season. First down for New Jersey. And it looks like Ed McElhaney making a stop for the Orlando Renegades, but another first down for the New Jersey Generals. Generals kind of taking their time. They figure they've got this one in the back pocket. They want that clock to roll. Earlier in the ball game, they were quick on their calls, quick on the snaps, as you see, heading to the 2-minute mark. Carthen, nowhere.
Ball carrier into the center of the line.
It will be interesting to see, Fred, what the media will have to say about Mr. Flutie come tomorrow.
Well, the 2-minute break is here. New Jersey Generals 28, Orlando 10. New Jersey Generals have just 2 minutes to kill, and they have their first victory in 2 games this 85 season. The Renegades would drop to 0-2. But I would think Lee Corso would have to be much more pleased with tonight's effort than the one he got out of his ball club last Saturday night down in Tampa when they lost to the Bandits.
Some respects a moral victory, I guess, but when you have the Birmingham Stallions staring you in the face next week, it's not easy. See there, 121 yards of total offense in the second half. A far cry from performance in the first.
Second down and 8 for New Jersey. Flutie trips, but he's got a lot of field to run with on the left side. But covering quickly was Eddie Jackson to limit the gain made by Flutie.
Eddie Jackson looked like Michael Jackson, about ready to break dance all over Flutie's body there.
Flutie picked up 5. Call it 6 now. 3rd and 4. The quarterback coach for the New Jersey Generals, Chris Palmer, standing next to the head man, Walt Michaels. 3rd and 4 from the 38 of New Jersey for the Generals. 1:13 to play. Walker has the first down. Spinning over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
And now he's over the 100-yard mark. like to see Herschel run the ball a little bit more. He's had 20 carries tonight. That time the tackler knocked him an extra 3. So Herschel Walker, first time, the earliest in his career, he's gained 100 yards, earliest in the season.
Under a minute to play, just 45 seconds to go in the football game. Carthen. He brings it to the midfield stripe as James Scott applies the hit along with the rest of the Renegades, and this clock is going to roll down. Lee Corso, knowing he has 2 losses to contend with, talking about the playoffs yesterday and the faint hope that he could get his team into the playoffs. Now he might have to change that thinking. Lee sprinting across the field to congratulate the victorious head coach, Walt Michaels. And that's the end of the ball game. The New Jersey Generals, led by 4 Doug Flutie touchdown passes, beat the Orlando Renegades 28-10. And what a difference, Flutie, tonight than the Flutie we saw in the opening game last Sunday in Birmingham and in the preseason game here in Orlando.
And maybe fans of the USFL will get a chance to see how good Flutie is. Next week, the Generals play the Express in their first home game of the season. Steve Young versus Doug Flutie.
So the final score, once again, the New Jersey Generals 28, the Orlando Renegades 10.